This is Kathleen Behrmann. She is a former teacher at the Francis Howell School District while they were under the year-round school program that is different than your conventional school. So, Kathleen, can you please tell me about your initial impressions whenever you got the job at Francis Howell?
Well, originally it was back in the early 90s, and we were on 4 different schedules, A, B, C, and D. And I liked it because there was very little regression in student learning. Also, it seemed like as soon as the kids started getting squirrely behavior speaking, it was time for a break. It was really nice because you had 3 breaks, one of which was quite a bit longer. So you still had a summer vacation, although it was abbreviated, but you did have a big block of time to be home and relax, whereas the other breaks were only 3-week breaks, but that was still enough to get your batteries refueled and the kids to come back to school, and you're happy to see them, you welcome them back. So I really enjoyed that aspect of it.
Very good. Now, to be clear, while you were there, you experienced both the multi-track and the single-track style
correct.
You started on the multi-track, but also came back later under the single-track system.
That's
correct?
Right. Yes.
So some of the problems, did they first start with a multi-track and then move into a single-track after overcrowding fixed?
What happened was that St. Charles County became overpopulated very, very rapidly. It experienced rapid growth. And there were not enough elementary schools to keep up with the growth. So how they dealt with this, how they compensated for it, was to go on the multi-track system. And that worked out while they were building. It wasn't really a question of finances for this district. It was just the ability to get schools built quickly enough. They did do the building. When I returned to Francis Howell to teach as a reading teacher, everybody was on the same cycle. They called them cycles there. And it was quite nice, actually. I enjoyed teaching there, again, for the same reason. I was a reading teacher, so I experienced children who were having reading challenges, and their regression is a big issue with kids like that. So the cycles really helped them to not regress as much as if they had a summer break.
Very good. Now, did you ever hear of any of families complain about this multi-track system, having kids on different tracks?
Absolutely. Well, in the elementary schools, they wouldn't put families of kids on different tracks. The families would all be on the same cycle. However, the problem for parents was that they used their older children as caretakers for their younger children until both parents could come home, or one of the parents could get home from work. As you know, in these economic times, it's almost imperative for both parents to be working. So that was an issue. There just really wasn't money in the budget for child care when they were getting free child care with their older siblings. The other problem was that the high school, they would have high school students or middle school students on a different cycle than their elementary kids. So that was also an issue. Made a difference for family vacations, things like that. One of the ways to have solved this problem would be to put the whole district on cycles. But that was problematic for reasons such as sports, and older high school students would have part-time jobs, so they would be unable to keep these jobs, particularly in summer months when they would work, for full-time employment during the summer. They just couldn't do that. So there were some economic issues for families regarding the cycles. For teachers and for students, I thought it was an optimal learning experience. But for families, it wasn't that great. Personally, myself, I had my own children in a school, in a regular school year, so they were off during the summer. I had breaks throughout the year, which of course I enjoyed, but then during the summer, I had an issue with childcare as well, because I would have to pay childcare for my children during the summer when I ordinarily would have been home with them all summer long.
Very good. Now, I know you, at the time, you are a beginning teacher, but were you ever privy to some of the financial problems that maybe the school district may have had during faculty meetings. Did they ever go over any of that? Or
Well, initially I was a beginning teacher, but when I returned to the district, I had some experience, about 10 years of experience. So I wouldn't call that a beginning teacher at that point in time. My second tour of duty with Francis Howell, there was certainly economic factors that were involved. Not necessarily pertaining to the year-round school, though. It was another issue the school district had.
Very good. Is there anything you would like to add about the year-long school district as it pertains to your experience? And
well, since I always have worked in my teaching career with kids with learning issues, I really felt it was the best thing for students. However, we don't live in a vacuum. You know, we have to deal with all the society's issues in a school, and money is a big issue for families, and so I feel like it would be unfair to burden families with more financial stress. So for that reason, I guess I would prefer rather than a year-round school, the traditional school year.
Conventional school year
Yes.
from August to May.
Right.
All right. Well, thank you for your time, and we will see you later.